Alexander wiped the sweat from his brow as he surveyed the barren landscape of Kepler 442b. 3 months since the colony ship New Horizon had crash-landed on this godforsaken rock, and they were no closer to establishing a sustainable settlement. The protein synthesizers had failed weeks ago. The hydroponics bay was contaminated with alien spores, and their population of 200 survivors was dwindling daily from malnutrition and disease. "Alex, you need to see this," Nora called from across their makeshift camp. Her voice carried an urgency that made Alexander's stomach clench. As the colony's xenobiologist, Nora rarely got excited about anything that wasn't catastrophically dangerous. He trudged through the purple-tinged sand toward where she stood at the perimeter, her scanner beeping frantically. Beyond the force field barrier, a massive figure approached, easily 12 feet tall with crystalline skin that refracted the orange light of Kepler 442's twin suns into prismatic rainbows. "Zephyrian," Nora whispered, referencing the species they'd encountered in the outer systems. "But I've never seen one this large." The creature stopped just outside their defensive perimeter and spoke in perfect, if heavily accented English. "I am Thesaraka of the Mountain Clans. I come seeking audience with your leaders." Alexander stepped forward, ignoring Nora's restraining hand on his arm. As the colony's elected representative, diplomatic contact fell under his purview. Even if their last encounter with the Zephyrians had ended in a trade dispute that nearly sparked an interstellar incident. "I'm Alexander Chen, speaking for the human settlement. What do you want?" Thesaraka's 6 eyes fixed on him with an intensity that made his skin crawl. Her crystalline features were sharp, angular, but there was something undeniably feminine about her bearing despite her imposing size. "I need a husband," she said bluntly, "and you need strong offspring." The words hung in the air like a challenge. Alexander felt his face flush red while Nora made a choking sound behind him. "I'm sorry, what?" "Your colony is dying," Thesaraka continued, her voice carrying the weight of absolute certainty. "Your technology has failed. Your food sources are depleted. Your people grow weak and sick. I have observed this for many rotations of the moons." She wasn't wrong. Alexander had spent sleepless nights running calculations, trying to find a solution that didn't exist. At their current rate of decline, the colony would be extinct within 6 months. "My clan possesses resources your people require," the Zephyrian continued. "Protein-rich vegetation that grows in this soil. Mineral deposits that can power your machines. Medical compounds that will cure your sick. But Zephyrian law requires an exchange of equivalent value." "What kind of exchange?" Alexander asked, though he suspected he already knew. "A mating bond. Your human genetics combined with Zephyrian strength will produce offspring, capable of surviving in environments that would kill either parent species alone. It is a union that benefits both our peoples." Nora stepped up beside Alexander, her scanner still active. "The genetic compatibility is actually feasible," she said quietly. "Zephyrian DNA shares surprising similarities with human sequences. The offspring would be hybrid but stable." Alexander stared at the towering alien woman. Her crystalline skin caught the light, creating patterns that were almost hypnotic. There was intelligence in those 6 eyes and something else. Loneliness, perhaps. Desperation. "You said you need a husband," he said carefully. "What happened to your previous mate?" Thesaraka's expression shifted, becoming somehow more vulnerable despite her imposing size. "He died in the Great Storm 3 seasons past. Zephyrian law states that a clan matriarch without a mate forfeit her lands and resources to the collective. I have fought this decree, but I am running out of time." The pieces clicked together in Alexander's mind. She wasn't just offering a trade agreement. She was offering salvation for both their peoples. The humans would gain access to resources that could sustain them, while she would retain her position and her clan's survival. "The offspring," Alexander said. "They would be stronger than humans, more adaptable than pure Zephyrians," she replied, "capable of thriving in the harsh environments of the outer colonies. Your species speaks often of exploration, of pushing boundaries. These children would be pioneers by their very nature." Alexander looked back at their failing camp, at the faces of people who trusted him to find a solution. He thought of the families who had already lost members, of the children growing thinner each day despite their carefully rationed supplies. "I need to discuss this with the Colony Council," he said. "You have until the smaller moon reaches its zenith," Thesaraka replied. After that, clan law compels me to accept collective absorption. Your people will face their fate without Zephyrian aid." As the massive alien turned and walked away, her crystalline form catching and scattering light like a living prism, Nora grabbed Alexander's arm. "Alex, you can't seriously be considering this." "Look around, Nora," he said quietly. "We're dying, all of us. Maybe this is how humanity survives, not by conquering the galaxy alone, but by joining with others who need us as much as we need them." That night, as the smaller moon climbed toward its zenith, the colony council convened. The debate was fierce but brief. The mathematics of their situation were inescapable. When Thessaraka returned, Alexander was waiting at the perimeter with his answer. "The council has voted," he said. "But I want to be clear. This isn't just a political alliance. If we do this, if we join our peoples, it has to be real. A partnership of equals." The giant Zephyrian woman studied him with all 6 eyes, and for the first time since their encounter began, she smiled. A crystalline expression that transformed her entire face. "Equality and partnership," she said, extending a massive hand, "and strong offspring to carry both our legacies to the stars." Alexander took her hand, sealing humanity's strangest and most vital alliance.